everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a senior at CSU and I will be your coach for this afternoon warm-up session. So with that being said, let's start going into our nice controlled marches with high knees. Awesome, and relax those shoulders and just have those arms by your side and make sure your core is nice and engaged and you have a nice neutral spine. This is going to be working your hip flexors, so controlled muscle movement is key for this, so we can get those muscles nice and warmed up. All right, while we're doing this, we're going to take one arm, I'm taking my right, and just crossing it over and stretching out that upper back and shoulder area. Use the other hand to apply some resistance so you can really get a nice stretch in that area. Great. Awesome. We're going to hold it for a couple more seconds here. In 3, 2, 1. Shake it out, and same thing on the other side, taking our left arm all the way across our body and really pressing on it to get some nice stretches in. Great. Your form is looking good, guys. Awesome. And then we're just going to shake that out. Next up is we're going to be squatting out a few squats. So we're going to take our feet about hips width apart and just squat down like you're sitting in a chair. We want to see that 90-degree angle bend. If you're not quite there, you can take it at a 45-degree. It's a little nicer on the knee joints. And what I also want you to focus on is keeping these knees, press them apart when you're squatting down, that way they're not caving in. Great, and as you squat, I want you to do some bicep curls and get those nice and warmed up. Great, guys. Making sure that spine and that core is nice and controlled and intact, and keeping that chest up and looking straight ahead. We don't want to be hunched over or anything. Great, few more of these. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Shake the legs out, feel the burn. Next up, we're going to go into some ham curls. So you're just going to be taking your heel all the way up to your glutes, really feeling that muscle activation in your hamstrings in the back. Good. If you want a little bit of added cardio, you can kind of run it out a little bit like you're jogging, but really emphasis on getting those heels up. Great, guys. And while we do this, nice controlled, back to the original position, we're going to just stretch out our arms. So we're going to take our first arm, stretching out that bicep, really just having the hand up in a supine, and then bringing that stretch onto the hand. Good. Just like that. And shake that out. Other arm, you should be feeling it in your forearm and your bicep. Great, guys. These muscles are super important for everyday activity, so we want to make sure we're stretching and strengthening them on the regular. And next we're going to bring our one arm up behind our back and doing a nice tricep stretch, really reaching your forearm down the back of your spine, using that other hand to press down on that elbow. Good, guys. And hold that for a bit. Shake that out, and same thing on the other side. Great. Really feel that stretch in that tricep area and continue those ham curls. Great. So we'll shake that out. Next up, we're going to just do a couple side oblique stretches. So I want you to kind of stand with feet outwards. Good, and nice like triangle position. And reach one arm over and have your left hand with your left leg, or right hand with your right leg, and just reach over, feel that side. And what I want you to focus on is not being too crunched over or too far and leaning back, but just nice neutral spine, good engaged core. That's going to be kind of the key of this warm-up, is most exercises and stretches that you have are going to be using your core and making sure that stays strong. Good. Great, you guys. And last up, we're just going to stretch out that upper back, those shoulders. So grasp those fingers together And just kind of lean forward like that, really hunched over, making sure you're working that upper back, stretching those muscles out, because those are going to be key for today's warm-up and exercises, as well as daily living. Great. Intertwining those fingers and stretching the chest muscles and all those pectorals, and also scrunching those shoulders, kind of emphasis on that, and start to warm up your shoulders and erector spinae. Awesome. If you want an added challenge, feel free to just fold over. Good. And then you'll feel that in the back of your hamstrings as well. Awesome. Shake that out. And our next exercise, we're going to be moving on to our calf raises. And so you can either do your standard just off the ground, up, down, lifting those heels off the ground and getting more support on the front of your foot. Or if you have access to steps or any sort of ledge, like I have this mat ledge right here, you can kind of take that and just have a little bit more to lift from. Nice controlled up-down movements. That's going to be working your calves. Great, guys. I can see your smiling faces on the other side of the camera. You're doing so good. Sure, by now your muscles are starting to get warmed up. That heart rate is increasing, which is just what we want. Okay, then a couple other variations we're going to do is pigeon-toed calf raises. So we're going to point those toes inwards towards each other. Awesome. And just same thing, up, down movements, really focusing on those outer areas of the calf. Great. Slow, controlled movements are key. Make sure we're getting all the way up on top of our toes. Good. All right, and then our final variation is we're going to have our heels inward, kind of like a penguin, and then lifting those up, down. We're going to do a few of those. Give me 5 of these at your own pace. Good, awesome. Sweet. All right, shake out those calves. Finally, one last stretch before we kind of move on to another area is we're going to be doing our quad stretch with our one leg holds. So just grab that foot from behind. This is a great balancing exercise as well. So if you need any sort of assistance, feel free to grab a chair or a wall nearby. I find it helpful to just stare at a spot that's not moving, or, just kind of gauge how well your balance is going. Awesome. You guys are crushing it. What I want you to think of with this exercise is not have your knee way out here, but keep it nice and close to your center of mass. Great. All right, switching to the other leg. Same thing, you should be feeling a good stretch in that front quad, especially after we just did all those squats. Awesome, you guys. Keep nice and balanced. Perfect. All right. Our next stretch is what I like to call the runner stretch. It's personally one of my favorite. We're going to do it from a standing position. So you'll take one foot forward and the other one, step it back, also pointing forward. And you can kind of have this back one out to the side a little bit just to help with balancing and whatnot. So you're going to just kind of lean forward, pushing this back hip forward to really get a nice hip flexor stretch. We want to think of squaring off our hips so that they're even. We don't want to be pushing that back one towards the back of the room or towards the side, but keep them nice and aligned and facing forward. Also, we're going to be feeling a stretch in our calves that we just worked. So kind of bending that back knee is going to help get that really nice stretch in. Awesome. And we'll just hold it here for a little bit. Good job, you guys. Awesome. And now coming back to our original standing position, we're going to take the other leg and stretch out that hamstring. So we're just going to prop it forward with our toes facing the ceiling. And if you can, just lean over and grab that foot. Otherwise, if you're not quite able to reach your toes, feel free to just rest your hand on your calf or your thigh. Either way, you'll be feeling that hamstring stretch. Awesome. Shake that out, and then opposite leg. Left foot forward, right one back. Same thing of just stretching out that back calf muscle, and then remembering to jut that hip forward, keeping those nice and aligned. Awesome, you guys, you're crushing it. And if you need this side, there you go. And same thing with the hamstrings. We're going to reach that other foot out, toes to the sky, reach down and feel that good hamstring stretch in the back. Get those muscles nice and warmed up. Good. Stretching is going to be key for our later on exercises. Great, and with that, we're going to take it onto all fours in a tabletop position and stretch out our erector spinae and also all those good strong ab muscles that we got going on. So we're going to do cat-cow, and I want to think valleys and hills, peaks and valleys, and we're just going to, on the cow, make sure to lower your stomach, kind of pop your glutes up and stretch out that core. And then going into cat, making sure to arch that back and really crunch in those stomach muscles. And go with your breathing and at your own pace. Awesome, you guys. Do a few more of these. Good job, killing it. And 2 more of those. 1, 2. Awesome, guys. Next exercise that we're doing is everyone's favorite, is the plank. What I want you to be thinking of is doing keeping a strong core, and we don't want any butts up or sagging. We want to keep those glutes nice and strong and in line on a flat surface, like you could rest a cup there. So, a couple different variations for this. To go from your forearms, or if you'd like, you can also go at a straight arm length. Just make sure your wrists are under your shoulders. Keep that nice and in line. Also, if you need, you can go onto your knees and you're still going to get that good core stabilization. This exercise is great for not only your core, but also your erector spinae and your shoulders and upper back area. It's really like a full body exercise that everyone just loves, you know? So, if you want to add another form of cardio here, we're going to add plank jacks, which are just like jumping jacks except horizontal. So you'll get the gist. We're going to go down onto our forearms, legs extended, keeping that core nice and strong, and just jumping those legs out, in, out, in, out. Or you can also do some toe taps, but making sure to just keep proper form. Awesome, you guys. And finally, what we're going to do with these planks is working our nice side abdominals. We're going to be doing some hip dips. So going back into the plank, we're going to stretch out those legs and then dip one hip down, other hip down. Really feeling it in those side abs. Awesome. I know these are everyone's favorites. You guys are killing it. And a couple more of those. Great. All right, our final few exercises that we're going to wrap up with is one core exercise and a final stretch. So you guys are almost there, and hang in there with me. So we're going to flip over onto our backs and do some bicycles, is what I like to call them. These are going to be working your transverse abdominals. So we're just going to go up into a nice crunch position. You can rest your hands behind your head so you can support your neck. Bring one knee up, other leg out, and depending on where you want to go with these bicycles, you can have your legs higher up here, and then the lower they go, the harder it'll be. So you can also keep them up here or just lower them. Awesome. Give me 8 more of those. 6, 4, 2, 0. Awesome, you guys. Now for our final wrap-up stretch, we're just going to go to a seated position and do what I like to call the butterfly. So we're going to press both feet together and sit up. Try and keep that spine nice and neutral. Keep it tall and just lean forward a little bit. Really feeling that stress in those adductor muscles. Nice. We want to be stretching to the point of tension but not pain. So making sure you're not, going too hard or stretching with too much resistance with this stretch. So we'll just lean forward here, and if you'd like, you can also rest those arms. Awesome. Give a couple good shoulder rolls. Roll the neck while you're here. And couple deep breaths in, out, and done. Good job, you guys.